Hey everyone, I'm back with another video. I wanted to make a video about how my first week of second semester of nursing school has gone. My laptop battery running down. So last week was my first week back, and it was pretty fast paced to say the least. So Monday, let me start off with that. Monday was going to be our skills day, and that was the only skills day that we are going to have for the whole class. This class that I'm taking, which will end in March, is Pediatrics. So with Pediatrics, we had our skills day, so we had to wear our scrubs on that day. Came in bright and early, 6:30 to 4, I believe, and we were learning not really much. I mean, we first met in a classroom setting. Our teacher, who is also our lecture teacher, the teacher who's running the whole course, just kind of gave us an introduction, clinical side-based kind of introduction, welcoming us back, giving us our second semester lanyards. Well, actually, she didn't give us our second semester lanyards. Let me take that back. But she just welcomed us back and told us what to expect for the whole day. So first off, she let us know that we needed to pass a medical dosage calculation exam, which would be given on our first day of clinical, which for me was Thursday. But we needed to pass that medical dosage calculation examination to continue on in the class. If we didn't pass, then that means we automatically fail the whole class, because you'll be required to pass meds to pediatric patients this semester. And of course, it's extremely important that you get these these calculations correct. And so there was some anxiety there. So first off, we were going to transfer over to another classroom, get into our clinical groups, transfer over to another classroom where one of the clinical instructors would teach us the ways to do pediatric dosage calculations, which I'm not sure, once we got in there, I'm not sure what this instructor thought we knew, but it was just a brand new world of calculating to us. So you're supposed to implement dimensional analysis. You're supposed to use that, but there's a whole different type of process with pediatric calculations, and based on your weight, and based on a couple of other things. But she just jumped right into it and was going fast, and we were all lost. Like, we had deer in headlight expressions on our faces, and we were like, oh no, we're gonna fail. But we got past that. So that was the first class we had. Then we transferred over to another one about an hour and a half later, and we were shown how to give a breathing treatment to an infant. Transferred over to another one, and we were shown how to do a physical assessment on a baby. But it's quite different from our first semester, because when we had skills class, we were given the opportunity to go and practice on the dummies. But there was none of that on that skills day. I just felt like it was just, for lack of a better phrase, bullshitting. I mean, they were just telling us, not expecting us to take notes or anything, but, just were telling us what to do, and, had long drawn out conversations of their experiences in the hospitals, and we basically went home early. But that was Monday. Skip Tuesday, for us anyway. My clinical group is Thursday, Friday, as I mentioned. Some other people's clinical groups are Monday and Tuesday, and so they had to take the calculation exam on Tuesday. So Wednesday we had lecture. Lecture was very interesting. Our teacher this semester is a pediatrician, so she actively practices at the moment. She's also a graduate of the program that we are in. She told us her story. Basically, she graduated in, I want to say 2001. She entered the program and then had to leave because at the time she had a young son, and her husband and she did not have any daycare for her. There was an issue with that, so she had to leave the program, but she was able to come back the next year around, inserted right in where she left off, and experienced some bullying in the previous cohort, so they thought that she wouldn't make it anyway because she had a baby. So when she came back and she was doing her clinical rounds, at that time she had to work with some of the nurses at the hospitals during her clinical, and those were the nurses that she was in the previous semester with. So that was an interesting story. But anyway, she's an interesting teacher. She actually acts out how certain ages of children act. So she was just like skipping around the class and just doing the whole demeanor of how a 2-year-old would act. So yeah, she was just giving us all the ins and outs and everything that we would need to know this semester, and then jumped right into growth and development, the theories, the stages of children, and everything like that, and letting us know that periodically we will be having quizzes. So the quiz actually is tomorrow. Today is Tuesday, and so I have a quiz tomorrow on that. So I better get to study. Then Thursday came. Thursday was our orientation to the hospital that we are at. I'm at a general hospital. Campus is pretty big. My clinical teacher is great. She's a labor and delivery nurse educator, and I was thinking that I really want to be in labor and delivery. It's one of my options that I think I want. But she's awesome. Easy to get along with, very nurturing, very you can feel that she cares about your growth, which is what I didn't really get from my previous clinical instructor, but other people, they felt that way. But my own opinion, I didn't feel that way. I didn't really get it. But with her, I definitely don't feel anxiety. I feel that I can learn a lot from her. And so she just basically showed us around the hospital, the ins and outs. Apparently you get stuck a lot in the elevator, which I will be avoiding the elevators, showing us where to meet for post-conference, pre-conference, things like that. And we took our dosage calculation exam, and it was just anxiety-free. Like, I was worried about it because I failed my first dosage calculation exam in my first class, Fundamentals of Nursing, because I just felt so much anxiety. I failed it. My second one, I passed it. And this one, I passed with flying colors. And I just feel so confident. I feel at ease about making those calculations. She showed us a way before we took the exam. She walked us through things. It was great. Very stress-free. Then Friday came, and we had our first day of clinical. Bright and early again, 6:30. It's a little bit farther of a drive for me, about 49 minutes to an hour away. The school is about 45 minutes, just a little bit more of a ways away. Never been to this hospital before. It's closer to a different freeway, but made it there bright and early. Was able to find the floor I was on. Supposed to be on, and she gave us the option. She just said, who wants to go to the NICU? And I was like, I'll go. Everybody, including myself, we were just like, woo, it's the first day, let me take it easy, let me feel out how it is. And I just wanted to go to see what the NICU was. I know they're not expecting much from us, but I wanted to go to the NICU. And the NICU, it was a great experience. One of the things that makes me actually want to be a NICU nurse, because I'm considering that as well. The fact that if you're looking at it from a superficial level, just a surface view, changing the diapers, I mean, it's so easy. It's a little baby, possibly a preemie baby. And, physical head-to-toe assessment is easy as well. That's a little different, but it's a little easier. You don't have to deal with, just the adult population. And I think it's satisfying for me anyway to be around babies. That's where I'm at right now. I have a house full of babies, 5, 3, 1, not exactly infants. I mean, newborns, but I've been there. I've done it. and they're critical care, and they just need you. And I got to do a head-to-toe assessment on a preemie baby. He was in stable condition and everything. I changed his diaper, measured his head, listened to his lung sounds, listened to his heart, fed him. He was so small. He had an NG tube in that he was getting nutrition from periodically. We had to aspirate it as well to check the placement and to also see the residual. And also, he was getting fed. I had to feed him by dipping a swab in breast milk and then just swabbing his mouth with it. So that was interesting. A different thing also is the nurses are sitting right next to the incubator. So they're just sitting there keeping close watch on the infants. So that appeals to me too. A nurse who gets to sit? What? And you get, if you have a critical preemie, then you get one patient. If not, then you can have up to 3 babies there anyway. I'm not sure how it is at any other hospital, but that appealed to me. And I think the NICU is kind of where I can see myself. Other than that, on the floor, on the pediatric floor, the other students were assigned. We have a smaller clinical group this time because half of us in our clinical group we're split up. So half of us are at the hospital, half of us are out in the community, either at a college, an elementary, a high school, an elementary school, a child daycare center, or a special ed type of facility. So for the first 3 weeks, I'll be at the hospital. The second 3 weeks, I'll be out in the community. So my 3 weeks hasn't started out in the community yet. So this week will be the second week, I believe. So anyway, I think I'm going to ask my clinical instructor as much as possible to be in the NICU. Other than that, some of the other students that were with me, which were 5 other students that were in the pediatric unit, we had patients that had Kawasaki's disease, a suicide attempt, Bell's palsy, and I want to say that's it. An appendectomy. So, and another student came with me to the NICU. So those were the types of patients that were available on Friday. So I'm just going to ask my clinical instructor if I can be in the NICU as much as possible. But I do want some kind of experience in the pediatrics, just to see the pediatric unit, just to see, how I like it there. But anyway, this week we will start off fresh, and there won't be any skills. Well, there weren't any skills yesterday, Monday. And so it's just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for me up until the middle of March. And then my schedule would change to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday being lecture, clinical being Mondays and Tuesdays. Other than that, it was a pretty exciting week. I was glad that it was over. This week, I hit the ground running again, have a lot to read, especially since financial aid, I applied for it. So last semester, I had a total of 12 units because we had that health study class that kind of accompanied, was optional, but if you wanted to take it because you're a first semester nursing student and don't know what to expect, you can enroll in it. All it required was you to attend Monday through Thursday the first week, which I did, which is why I quit my job kind of early, the first week of August. And then the rest of the class is like you're writing journal entries and you're submitting it for the rest of the semester. And that was a 2-unit class. So ADN1, which was fundamentals, was a 5-unit class. And then ADN2, which was introduction to med-surg, was a 5-unit class as well. So it was a total of 12 units. And financial aid told me they don't count it as total. They count it as what you're currently taking. So ADN1 ended in October, right? So they counted it as I was taking 6 units. ADN1 is 5 units. Health study class is 2 units. Sorry, they counted it as I was taking 7 units. So then when med-surg started, it was counted as I was taking 7 units as well. So that's what they did to me this semester. I'm taking ADN 5 first. I don't know why they're doing it backwards, which is pediatrics, and that's a 4-unit class. After this class is over, I will be taking ADN 4, which is OB, maternity, and that will be 4 units too. So I was under the minimum amount of units needed for me to get financial aid. And so I just kind of thought about it. I don't necessarily need the money, but I thought about how last semester went, and it was just, I get $800, and I know other students get more than that, but $800, I mean, I guess it's free money. So not necessarily free, because I had to take on 2 extra classes. I couldn't find, a class that was like just 2 units or a class that was like 5 units. And I found the available classes that were online. So I had to sign on for more classes. So I got Administration of Justice, which is juvenile procedures or law. And that's a 3-unit class. And then I also signed up for Family and Marriage, which starts next month, early February. And that's a 3-unit class too. So I am taking a lot of classes. I'm taking, 14 units? Is that? I can't math today. I think it's 14 units. Total, on top of being in the nursing program, just to get this lousy $800. But I'm finding in taking the Administration of Justice class, that class is freaking easy. Like, when you're in the nursing program, you're like taught to think critically. But then I finished 2 chapters, and I've taken 2 quizzes that are due. Like, the quizzes are due, I think, every Tuesday. And then I have to do discussion posts and respond to somebody else's discussion post, which is annoying. But that's like the brunt end of the work. And the discussion posts are so easy. Like, they're not like, what did you think of this reading? Or explain, this that was in the chapter. It's like, do you think we should have a separate juvenile court? Why or why not? Like, it's just my opinion. And it has to be 200 words or less. Your response to another person has to be 75 words or less, and it has to be of substance. But the quizzes were like, what? The bolded terms that are in chapters? It's just basically, looking at those bolded terms and, picking the multiple choice answer that's correct about it. Like, so this term means what? Oh, bingo, ding, ding, ding. B. But it's so easy, I found, like, since I've been in the nursing program for that course. Hopefully it continues on that way, and hopefully it wasn't just a trial run for chapters 1 and 2, but I'm looking forward for it to be that easy as we progress. I do have a paper due in that course somewhere in the middle of the semester, but just pray for me, because I'm going to need all the strength I can. I'm questioning why I'm even doing this for this $800, but it's free money. Like I said, just bank it. And I plan on doing that. So yeah, just want to let you guys know I had to take on 2 extra classes, one that hasn't started yet, but I am busting my tail. I feel really good so far about this first semester in nursing school. We do have sim labs that will be coming up. I don't know what to expect there. I feel that my knowledge is lacking. So I just need to brush up on some things. Like, what is sepsis? And I know that, but it's like, I know it for the moment and I'm good with it. And then it just escapes my mind as life, gets involved. Or like, as I have other things that have nothing to do with sepsis going on. So I forget it and I'm like, oh yeah, what's that again? So yeah, definitely need to get on the ball with making things stick in my head and knowing them. And feeling confident about it. Anyway, I have other videos coming up about, failing your first exam. I'm pretty sure none of us have taken an exam yet. but I have some videos about that. A video. I have to also post a vlog of a trip we took prior to me going into nursing school. I know it's been there and hasn't been posted, but this is just a short trip to San Francisco, which I've been to 1,000 times, but just, you know, showing a good time and a relaxing time with the husband. And you should also take a trip before you start nursing school. Even when you enter nursing school and in between semesters, take a trip. I also took a trip that I didn't really record, but I went to a spa with my friend for the weekend in Napa. It was raining like crazy, but we went, we had a good time. We drank wine, we talked, we watched that R. Kelly series, which I regret watching, but she wanted to watch it, so we watched it. We read in the room. I know that sounds boring, but when you have 3 kids under 5 that are constantly on you, you can read nothing without reading it the same line 1,000 times because they're constantly in your face. But anyway, I will get those posted. I will do more. If you need a video about dosage calculations for pediatrics, I will definitely do that too. Yeah. If you have any videos you would like me to post, let me know. Otherwise, I'll think of some, or just some update car chat videos while, you know, I'm coming home from my clinical. Anyway, this is an unedited video. Sorry, I guess. Like, I don't really apologize because, you know, my battery in my camera here kind of ran out and I can't find my other battery because my children took it somewhere. Well, it'll turn up somewhere. But anyway, and that's just what this channel is. I'm raw. I'm not going to apply makeup all the time. You're not going to get edited videos. I'm talking to you as if you're my friend and if we're right here. I'm not going to continuously edit myself and wear makeup all the time. So if you're looking for those types of videos, I'm sorry, this is not the channel for you. I'm sorry. That I'm sorry about. But anyway, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this and would like to see more content, please subscribe. If not, you know, thank you for watching anyway. All right, I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.